that we do grieve the loss of our former self, especially if we had health, especially if our back wasn't hurting as much, right? Especially if you had the job that you really enjoyed and you were paid well and on time, especially if you had the car with good running AC and you didn't have to be tripping on all these high prices for everything for insurance. So there is a grief. There is a process where you like, dang, I really miss. Some of y'all old school, you miss being going to the grocery store, getting a grocery full of stuff, especially if you're a hospitable person who absolutely loves serving. You absolutely love cooking and providing and watching people get fat and greasy with it. That's your ministry. That's your love language. And so when you can't express it in that way, it doesn't mean that you need to ignore the fact that, dang, I really miss that. And so for you, if that's your truth, then just acknowledge that's what it is. And then, like when we used to do Sunday dinners every Sunday. So now we have to be realistic about the situation. Maybe you can do it once a month. And now it's a potluck, right? If you know your sister don't really cook, then have her bring the napkins and all of the utensils and all of that. Okay? And then just work with what you got. That's all we got to do. Work with what you have. What somebody put in the comments, work with what I have. Because what you believe is stolen and taken, like we've been talking about, is really hidden. And it's going to come back out of hiding when you're ready, when God see fit. You don't have to look at your situation as a death sentence. You definitely shouldn't be taking on the burdens of people that create a circus for themselves, like we talked about earlier. People trying to convince you that you committed to something and you know doggone well you didn't. I need y'all to call that spirit out. Call that spirit out. And that may look like, you know what? And I'm going to use Chelsea as an example. Chelsea, sis, I love you dearly, because you know we got to put that preference there because people sensitive nowadays. I don't know Chelsea. I'm just using her as an example. It's come to my attention, and I might not be disciplined to say it like I'm talking to you now, but that's where the power of prayer comes, where you know in your flesh, if you respond, it's going to come out like a whole first 48 case, right? So that's what humility does. When it makes sense for me to respond right then and there, and you know yourself, and you're going to ride this one out because you don't trust what you might say, that's humility. That is God humbling you. Because you can be right, you can cuss them out, fuss them out, be right, get it off your chest, feel good for the moment. But that conviction going to come back and get you to the point you're going to be like, you know what? It felt good to my flesh, but in my spirit, I know that was wrong. And that is why people don't receive what we need to say and experience with them when we're coming with ill intentions, if the energy is not right. Just think about you. Somebody pulled up on you and really assume that you're trying to lose weight based on them looking at your package. Oh, I got some weight loss products. Or your edges is gone. It's like, oh, I got some Miracle Grow for your edges. Wait, hold on, pimping. And you done went out the back door at the job on your Newport cigarette break to calm down. And here come this spirit. Well, you know, I got some weight loss products. So basically, you just assumed that I want to lose weight. You don't know me like that, top dog. And that's what y'all see a lot of these business owners. They say they business owners. Who am I to judge? But when I say part of taking care of yourself, don't patronize people that treat you like garbage and spit on you. What's up with that? Oh, you want the convenience? Oh no, we beyond that. This is what we're talking about. Juneteenth being totally free in the history of boycotting and collective group economics that says if you don't treat mine well, we will go without. Boycott. Heat or no heat. Car or no car. Yes, I want the dress and the hair and whatever you like to have. But my people deserve better. And when I boycott and you boycott and collectively our group economics stay in alignment, that's power. It don't work if you're talking about it, but for the convenience, and this happened to me years ago. I had, these cameras allow you to record everything. And y'all see these Asian people, I'm not expressing hate or nothing. I'm just stating the obvious. The people that typically was in the hair industry is struggling right now. Why you think they got us in the wig stores now as employees? Because they believe that face is going to draw us in. They wasn't doing that before. Could your kid go in the summer and get a summer job at a wig store? In the recent years, hey, Janice. So they don't want to lose our sale, but they don't want to fool with us. And you support that because it's convenient, because the place is by your house. And you want convenience over what's right. That is why I would support a Black business owner who's upright and a moral compass aligned with mine before I go support anything right by my house. Because that speaks volumes to our character. You want something quick and fast? Peep game about the friends you got. Them quick and fast friends that'll sell their soul quick. Baby, they'll switch on you so quick because they for the quick and the easy. They don't have keeping power. They don't have sustainability. And some of y'all been really, really let down because you like, dang, I thought they was riding for me. It's levels to it though, because some of y'all want people to ride with you to the draws and the wheels and the necklace and the earrings and everything fall off. People can't do that and build their stuff too. That's wrong. It's levels to everything a lot of times. Well, they were supposed to support me. Y'all better start getting clarity, because clarity is not linear. It's not. Clarity for you is some clarity for the other person. Help me to understand what this really means. And you know, I'm at the age, I got grandkids, and I'm helping developing them and being a support to my adult kids, which is primary ministry. So I'm going to legit tell you, I may not remember. So my criteria for certain things is shoot me an email. Shoot me an email, because there's certain days on Monday when I'm doing my administrative hours, and Thursdays doing some administrative hours for 3 hours before my 2-hour nap to restore myself. That is what I had to implement after this thyroidectomy. Because I really, really do take energy for granted since the surgery. So if I get on there and you ain't shot me an email because you done got your squirrely butt out back in the world doing what you do, I'm not finna go check an email on Friday. I take the baby to the zoo on that day. I take him to the reading circle on Thursday afternoons. That ain't for me to spell that out for people. Can you imagine you sitting up there spelling your whole life story out to each and every person that you give access to? Girl, please. That's played out. And then they're going to hit you with their emergency. Well, I had all of this stuff going on, girl. I meant to shoot you the email, but you know, these kids. Oh, yeah, I understand these kids because I got kids and grandkids too. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to jump on that email no time soon. Taking care of ourselves is what we're talking about. Taking care of ourselves is what we're talking about. How are you taking care of yourself? Be real with yourself. How are you taking care of yourself? Do you know how many people are out here with high blood pressure? We had a couple of groups this week, younger and younger and younger and younger, ignoring their medical signs. And what did I told them? You retired early? Praise God. Praise God. Did you believe that you were capable? Did you have an exit plan? Did you know your numbers? Did you run out in retirement because it was team too much, or was it strategic? Let us know, because we like to learn from one another. That's a beautiful thing. I'm semi-retired is what I'm calling it. I'm too young to pull off of it because it wouldn't make financial sense. But I was able to walk away with an exit plan. I had to make an exit plan. It was strategic. Come on now. And what are you doing in retirement by way of service, if you don't mind me asking? Strategic. When you guys hear, when I'm gonna tell you what I experienced when I hear people say strategic when she come back and answer that. That takes discipline. It takes going to the Father and getting some some clarity and direction. And sometimes he may not answer us right away. So then what do? The one thing I can tell you to do is don't be creating debt in that season. That's just like when some of you guys going to buy a house and a condo. You didn't think you can afford a mortgage until this inflation hit. And folks sitting up here raising the rent on you, there's no rent caps. And you finding out all your life you never thought you can pay $2,000 a month when you could have had a mortgage for $1,400. But we're not going backwards in shame. We're learning. And when we have new information, we apply the information and we just move forward. Strategic take discipline. That's just like us grew up in railway playing. We wanted that stuff bad. Come on, 50. Come through. I'm 52. Something about turning 50, I'm telling you. And some of y'all that's in here younger, you might have the spirit of a 50-year-old, the wisdom of a 50. You know, wisdom come in all ages, sizes, and shapes and colors. Sis had a strategic plan. And let me see what you put up in here. You owned your home by 45. Come on now. Come on now. She's fostering and she's mentoring kids. Service is the rent we pay for our room here on earth. So when every time I hear a care bearer, a servant-based leader retiring off of one thing, it can be a traditional way of serving, but God still is utilizing her to be of service to these babies. And you know, I placed foster kids for years down in child welfare. You know, I pray for them babies still. Because that system, as you know, is toe up from the flow up. It was never designed to raise kids like it is right now. It's reckless. So we thank God for you. She could have been like, nope, I'm good. And so I'm saying to you guys that's in here, if you have not retired yet, and maybe you're frustrated and you're overwhelmed and you need to get your fire back in life, I want you to have a strategy. Lord, let me get clear about my numbers. I don't care if you just started the job. Go make an appointment with retirement. Ask the questions that you need to know to make a decision later on down the road. Okay? That's step number one. What frustrates you about that job right now? What is it? Don't take in what you hear in the break room as your own frustrations, because you know you hear it and you're like, oh, I never considered that frustration. Oh yeah, add that to it. I'm frustrated about that too. Be honest about what's frustrating about your job. I know some of you guys have amazing kingdom strategies that intimidated leaders in your job won't really support. And it can feel like your light is being blown out because they don't want to receive it. How about you package that gift and that idea and that concept and come in my program so I can show you how to do that? Because when God gives you a thing and this person don't receive it, do you think he gave you that amazing idea just so somebody that don't even understand God to say yay or nay? And now you don't water down, well, I just had the vision for nothing. Well, I'm dang if I'm doing, I'm dang if I don't. Y'all know we get an attitude with it. Now, the very gift he gave you and the creative mind that you have, you don't watered it down and limited it to a person that have ill counsel anyway. And truth be told, some of y'all not even getting the promotions because God is going to move you in another direction. That's just not the open door. I know it hurts. I know you overqualified than the other candidates. But think about it, sis. They finna sit with a 5% increase over 5 years. 5 times 5 is 25, according to my hood math. 25% increase over 5 years. You ain't got that kind of wait period with God. Sis already said he giving you a right now blessing, a right now elevation. Let them ride their thing out for 5 years. Let them sit up and take on the energy that it takes in leadership. Serving social workers is out here heavily pressed. See, because in leadership, it's not about the emails, the meetings, writing of the policy. When you have a team that you're overseeing, you're also really experiencing their mental and spiritual. So that 5% raise, 10% raise that you're going to really not see until, the IRS going to take their cut. God protected you, sis. But where you go wrong is you go back to the break room, go to happy hour at Applebee's to get their 5 for $5. Well, girl, you know James and them, you know the IT person sleeping with so-and-so, and you know they related. Girl, you know they got that job. This stuff may be true. I don't know y'all situation. We just chopping it up. You ready to receive? Yes, come on, Dejanay. And so you sit up there and repeat the whole situation as if God, who loves us so much, he know if he give you that job, you're going to stay another 10 years. And you think he forgot about the prayer you had back in the 80s and the 90s. So he protecting you because he know that you'll get in the comfort zone and won't move. Sis say she owned her home by 45. We got a retired teacher in here. We're better when we're helping each other. Come on. Each one reach one. Come on, Care Bears. Hey, twin in Kansas City. She's another one. Took her skill set. She's in leadership. Right? Pain to power. What do y'all see God doing with the Care Bears? You've been serving from day one with an open heart. Putting other people's priorities before yours. And now that you're out of fuel, that was a divine setup. Because God got to pull that gas and redirect you back. Because he loved you so much. He loved us so much. Listen. Can you entertain the fact? We're not talking about what James and Charles did or didn't do. Don't measure the love of God based on your relationships or not. Don't measure it based on if you and your kids not getting along, you ain't talked to them in years. Let's not do that. Some people don't know how to love us the way we need to be loved. Some people love is superficial in what they want. And it was cool for you for a minute. But then when God started elevating you, you start to say, wow, I thought crumbs was the whole pie because all I knew was crumbs. But for his elevation, I need to be filled more than this. And he makes some adjustments. And then we run. And then we go to the person that can't fill us up anyway. And then you get with another runner. And then another runner congregate. And then they make a Facebook group and congregate and run together. And then they make t-shirts and hats to affirm this runniness. So what am I saying? We build community around common things. That's why we have the Care Bears. Because I know Care Bears serve. And they have big hearts. They are the type of people can come to and talk to and won't feel judged. The Dejanays of the world. The Dejanays of the world. That even though she feel like screaming sometimes, she pressed. And sometimes she pressed herself right on the bed, and that's okay too. And sis say in Facebook, I'm ready. It's time for me to move forward. And some of y'all, you at a point where all I can do is crawl right now, Tosh. Sis, you moving, that's it. God ain't measuring you based on you running like FloJo. He knows where you are. He know your temperament. When we talking about on here, Dorothy, take care of yourself. Oh, sweet Jesus, Dejanay, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Are you being kind to your mind, William? I want my own. I'm claiming my own, she said. I deserve it. I deserve to be off the struggle bus mentally and physically. I deserve a good measure, shaken down and pressed all the way together. I'm getting in position and alignment to take care of myself, soul child. What does taking care of yourself mean? What is legit. This legit question on the floor. What does taking care of myself mean right now? What is come on? Because we out here, some of y'all on the dating scene. And we don't even know who we are. But then you're trying to squeeze a relationship with his stuff in it, and it gets complicated and sticky. There's no clarity in that. It feels good. All of y'all can take yourself out to dinner. A lot of y'all can take care of the other needs in other kind of plug-in ways and do all of what you can do. But what does taking care of myself mean? Her mental. Amen. And so when you in conversations with folks and you encountering folks and you the care bear that you done set your life up to where you tell yourself that you're so busy. Well, what are you busy doing? This is a question that we ask ourselves over here. Nobody is better than nobody in this space. Nobody's fixing anybody. That's God's job. So when we having front porch convo, utilizing this live, Miss Trish, you become the author of your own stuff. And you sit with yourself. And the question on the floor is, what does taking care of myself mean? And let it hit the middle of the belly. What does taking care of myself mean? Oh, sweet Jesus. I feel this thing. I feel it. Y'all know we cry over here for self-care. What does your C for Christ stand for on today? Lord, carry me for the C. Put in the comments, what is a C? Some of y'all need to rinse. Let them leaky brown eyes leak. Let it out. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's a good thing. Lord, my C today is carry me. You've been carrying me. Lord, give me the courage. What my people that say, Lord, give me courage. Lord, help me with the R, restore and relax. What does it mean? What difference would it make in my life? What difference would it make? You close escrow and still feel lonely. Now you got a whole mortgage payment and mad because you got to stay on the job because now you got a mortgage. Create that experience right where you at. Roommate or no roommate. Quit making it about the external movement. Soul child, what's up with it? Samaya Maya. Oh, baby, I love that name. Samaya, walk in that thing. Girl, you got a name up in here. Samaya. My grandbaby name is Amaya. First time I seen with an S on the front. Come on. What does taking care of myself mean? And make it personal. Because some of y'all in here don't believe you deserve it. I can tell. You can tell. You know how to say it. But how is your feet moving or not moving? And the wolves is after y'all. Selling y'all every quick thing to make it go away. But you can't run from yourself. Can't run from yourself. You'll get exhausted. Some of y'all out here tired because you're running from yourself. You're qualified. You're worthy. And you're running from that truth. Don't mess around and done broke up with somebody. Now you reaffirm, I knew I wasn't worth nothing. You was manifesting that from the get down. Cut that mess out. I've got to find myself so I can be all of what I want in a relationship. Amen. And I want to venture to say, how do we know we lost? When we have to find ourselves, there's an implication that something had to be lost in order for it to be found. So the question and the work for you to consider, what part of me believe that I'm lost anyway? That takes work. And not the kind of work that I'm saying like you own a contractor in 110-degree heat. It might be because, change is not easy. But the truth of the matter is the answers are within us. And God is waiting for us to go to him and say, you know what? I've been waiting on you all along. I never had an out of order sign. But you keep running to what you believe that you should be doing by this time, or blaming yourself because something didn't work out. Whoever said you was lost. Maybe you need to add some more value deposits. And as Regina say, energy budgeting, that's adding value. It's not saying something is lost. But that's something to consider. Who am I? We just chopping it up front porch for us to consider. Because if I feel like I'm lost, it's scary. Think about but most of us don't go to camping trip. I want to start going back to camping trips, but I got to go with experienced camper. My husband ain't with it. But what I'm saying is, if you think about something lost, you lost your keys, you lost your purse, you lost your mind, you lost your relationship, you lost what else are we out here losing? Losing our patience and our temper. You lost your GPS signal on an unfamiliar road, and there's no Wi-Fi. So we say, but our spiritual Wi-Fi stay tapped in and charged. It's scary is what I'm saying when we're lost. So if I affirm that I'm lost, I'm starting off with fear up underneath that. So what do we do when we fearful? Sometimes we just say, I'll do it next month. We reschedule it. Some of us go with it, like we said in our illustration. Shall I repeat? We invite fear, and I have to stand up, so I'll do it. So you remember this, Dejanay, when we was in this room? What did we say? Instead of fear, and the LA people, the blood and Crips is what we was raised with. So my illustrations be blood and Crips sometime. I promise you I'm not a gangbanger. Fear is something we try to avoid and push over there before we stand up in what we're supposed to do. And sometimes we reschedule it because we believe I can't stand in my boldness right here until this somehow go away. But what we said in our space, right, Dejanay, we invited in. What did we say? I wish Dejanay was here. She on Facebook. We invited in, hey, Kiana Jones, is you in Louisiana, sweetheart? I never know if she back in California, Louisiana. That's another a beautiful young lady. So what do we do in our space, Dejanay? We invite fear and we dominate. The Spirit of God overshadows this. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of what? Sound mind. We're not fighting the feeling, invite it. Take 2 seats, fear, because I'm standing up anyway. And as you stand up, look at my hips. Dominate, that thing shadows. But I'm showing up anyway. So instead of saying, I can't do it because I'm scared, because somehow I believe fear is supposed to disappear somewhere, somehow, magically, just supposed to go over there. Right? But when you full armored up, now fear is intimidated by you because the spirit in you is going to outshine anything that try to take your destiny. And the enemy can't take nothing unless you give it away and surrender it. So some of y'all think I'm standing up in here, that I'm confident, whatever views you may have, that's yours. I get it. I might look at you and size it up for whatever, because that's what the human brain does. But nonetheless is, how does all of this connect to you as an individual? How do I take care of myself? So when this young lady on TikTok, on Facebook, Dejanay Golston, which is the fastest growing motivational speaker millennial, who has really declared that my pain is my power to get to the ultimate promise. When she stood up in this front of this room doing this workshop, and we're going to do our last one on Monday. Hot Girl Summer, we healed, we overcomers, and we're taking charge, period, in the name of Jesus. Her son standing next to her, being groomed, because we do intergenerational training. Them kids don't need to be at home all summer stuck on a video game. Put them in a room with the mic to them so they can think, and you can leverage your business through your kids instead of doing it all socks and drawers. Put on the whole armor. Confront those things that create fear. Soul Child was saying on TikTok. Confront those things that create fear. And the more you do a thing, just like you learn how to swim. You can read a manual on how to swim. You can look at YouTube channels But when is the real work going to happen? You can get in your shower at home. But when is the real work going to happen? It's not about learning how to swim and jumping in 10 feet. I don't think. I'm not a swim instructor. But I imagine with my little creative imagination, maybe I should just kind of get in on the little 2 feet, put my little toe in it, right? And then work my way through it. But what happens? You get the size and well, Kiana swim faster. I should try to keep up with her. She got a little bad girl, hot girl suit on. I want to get up in 5 feet where it's cracking it. So you done told yourself that it ain't cracking in 1 feet because you're looking at Kiana's 3 feet. Out of order. Get up out of her 3 feet and stay parked where you at. That's why these plus size babes hey, healthy on different levels. But who are you to come up on somebody? And some of y'all need to get people right in real life covering. And I don't see nowhere in the equation that you're in. I mean, is that rude? I don't know. I'm just saying where I'm at in my season. Because this spirit of destruction is so profound and moving so quick. And y'all Care Bears sitting back like talk about you need a GoFundMe. Okay, listen. You in Sweetport? She says she need a GoFundMe account to come home. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Girl, you know if we get you to come back home, we gonna have so many heads lined up for you to braid. You've been and got your money back. Are you gonna move back for real this time? And that's the beauty of being young and flexible, right? She get to come back, help out with her mom, go back to Louisiana, experience another state. We want to get a escape lounge over there where you at, so we can mentor those young ladies over there as well. So you see how that worked? We invited. You're going to take 2 seats. We don't even have to point, because when the power and authority of God is in you, the fear is just going to move because it can't stand the spirit in you that's outshining that. And sis reminded us, what you say, soul child, the full armor, not part-time, not put my left foot in and my left foot out. That's not rude. And here's what I tell mature people that's maturing. If anything, and we had this conversation earlier, if I experience something to be rude, I'm going to expect, and that's why we do those shared agreements, for you to trust the fact that I'm secure enough that you express to me from you, not your tribe, whatever they out here calling it, but you can trust the fact that my word is true. And you can trust the fact that if your truth is I'm being offensive, that you can say, Tasha, you know, that kind of struck me the wrong way. This is what I experienced in it. And you trust, because that takes courage and vulnerability, right? Because you don't know if I'm going to pop off. I say I won't, but we don't have a lot of people sometimes, it's been my experience, I should say, that are wild women of their word sometimes, or men of their word. You say keep it 100. I'm testing you with the 50 and you cussing me out. Hold on. Hello? Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, Helen, we ain't finna go there. And you out of breath and stuff, what's wrong with you? Why you stressed? Why they quit? You don't. Okay, we ain't gonna even talk about that right now. All I'm saying is the balance is paid off. It's 3,000 or something. Write it off the thing. You know what I've been through trying to get this report done and stuff. Are you talking about you stressed? I'm stressed. Even with this call and listening to you through the phone, and then you got my email to send the report. You know what I mean? So now I'm getting triggered. So I'm gonna just say right now, just send me the report. Send me whatever data, newfound data that you have about the $100. And when I can mentally look at the email and go through the invoice for my receipt, because I've been through heck and back with this, to be honest. And I really picked up on your energy, and that's usually not like you. So I was like, what's wrong? She huffing and puffing and stuff. I'm like, dang, forget all of that. You got to be good with a girl. Two people quit, so that more than likely they messed up on my account. What it sound like it. Mhm. All they want to talk about. Girl, don't mess up my day, Helen. Helen, Helen. I know you my business. This is supposed to be a business call. Like, send me the email with the report. And when I come off of it, I need to decompress. You need to decompress. I don't care about the I'm sorry the staff left and all of that crap you got going on. Because I'm gonna have to bill you for that now. I'm gonna bill you for a whole sample. So for real. Don't be sorry. I'm just saying. Okay, Helen. Well, you take good care of yourself in between all of this, Helen. Dang. Bye, Helen. Bye. Free. Eat cookies. Bye. Jesus, I can't make this up. Facebook, y'all still in here? All right, let me get y'all off of here. Oh, I've been on here for 38 minutes.